Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the last trading day of October, so basically the 31st of October today, 2018. So yep, welcome everyone, welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments. I believe look quite interesting right now. So yep, before we start jumping into the charts, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, then we can continue. Okay guys, so now then let's jump into the charts now. I hope you can hear me okay, can see me okay. So yep, basically what we're gonna have a look at here is the Nikkei. So Nikkei, I've covered this one yesterday in my morning video where I was talking about this potential move here, where we could see a nice move back above this long-term upside support line that has been running here since around the 7th of September 2017. So it seems like the index wants to recover slightly, or should I say a bit more here to the upside after, of course, experiencing these losses throughout the whole of October. So in a way, the index is now pushing higher a little bit here. We've managed to clear this level here at around 21,700, and we've managed to, of course, now to stay here. Still, of course, the index is open. The trading is still open here on the Nikkei, if I'm not mistaken, of course, this. No, sorry, I do apologize. It has closed already. So yep, the Nikkei is closed now. So basically, we've managed to close this candle here in the in this area here above this 21,700 zone. So now the next potential area that we're going to keep an eye on, keep a close eye on, is the 22,175 mark. Approximately here, it was marked here by the lows of the 7th of September 2018. So quite an interesting levels. We certainly do have some good potential levels here slightly above it, but for now this is the first one we're going to have a look at. And is also, you can see that what's the most important here is that the index managed to close this gap that we had here between the 24th of October and the 25th of October. So it's quite an important sign here, and we can see that the it's not all lost for the bulls. So we could see maybe this one traveling a bit higher here, potentially, like I said, hitting this 22,175. Now certainly don't exclude a possibility of such a move, basically, where the index could retrace slightly back down, test this long-term upside support line, and bounce off of it and push higher again. Now this could be a nice, if we see something like this, I mean, this could be a nice area for the bulls to start stepping in again and lifting this index back up again. So for now, all eyes are on this area here, on this upside long-term upside support line, and also this higher level here on at around 22,175 mark. So on the downside for this one, well, I mean, we would probably here now take a more conservative approach. We probably would, even if it would drop below this long-term upside support line, we would still probably wait until this gets closer towards the 20,970 zone, and then eventually breaks it, or should I probably say, if we break that, then yep, we could then start looking at much lower levels. But for now, to be honest, we could see a bit more correction here to the upside. Jumping into FTSE, now the FTSE is a good one here as well, and also recovering. Yesterday we can see that the day closed in the positive zone, and certainly for now what we're going to do here is we're going to continue monitoring this higher level here that I've got highlighted at around 71 7110, and this is the potential breaking point area that we could keep an eye on, because again, like I said, if we do get a nice push here above this, then we could potentially see this one traveling all the way here towards the 7190 area, or even the 7220. If these two don't hold, then we could eventually test this long-term upside support line. Now just let me kind of show you where it has been running from here. So it has been running here from the lows that we saw around the 9th of February 2016. So quite an important line here. It becomes, but like I said, for us to kind of consider such a move, we would need to get above this 7110 zone. So, and only then we could then target higher levels. For now, we're going to stay cautious here. Certainly we could see a continuation move here to the upside, but then again, like I said, I'll repeat myself, 7110 for us, that's the level to watch for now. On the downside, again, like similar story as with the Nikkei, we will probably take a more conservative approach here. Let me just kind of put an arrow quickly. So basically we're going to have a look at it. We're going to keep an eye on this 6870 zone, because if this time it doesn't hold and we see a nice close below that level, now this could open the path towards much lower levels, and we're going to examine those later on, of course, if we get a move towards this area. But for all those short-term traders here, in a way you could keep an eye on something like this, basically. So you could in a way keep your eyes on this little area here at around 7,000 zone. So this was like the psychological 7,000. So basically if we get a break here below the 7,000, and then we start moving below this little drop here that we had yesterday, then and that was approximately around the 69.85. Now this is where you could potentially position yourselves for a little short here. It could be a good one. Of course, keeping your stop loss tight here, and just in case this suddenly reverses and pushes back up again. But again, probably from the very short-term perspective, it seems that the sell side could be slightly off the table for now. Of course, well, let's see how this develops. But again, like I said, for those short-term traders, keep your eyes on the 69.85 on the downside, and on the upside, yep, keep your eyes on the 71.10. Jumping into gold. Now gold is a good one, and for this one I need to quickly jump back into the daily chart. This is what I was talking about yesterday, and basically I was talking about this in a way a tentative short-term upside support line that has it got broken, and you can see by the arrows that I have drawn here. So in a way, this is a possible scenario that that we could see in gold, and basically we could see this one dropping here further. Of course, if this doesn't hold, if this area here, the 1215 doesn't hold, this is where it could become interesting for the bears, and we could see this one traveling all the way down here towards the 1204 or even lower. But for now, all eyes are on the 1215 zone. It proves to be quite an important one, because looking at the past here, let me just quickly highlight those areas that I'm going to be talking about. So basically this area here, and the let me just quickly copy that, and this area here, basically on the downside, as you probably remember, since the end of August, this commodity was trading in this little range here between the 1183 on the downside and the 1215 on the upside, and then we on the 11th of October got our break here through the upper side, and we saw this one pushing a little bit higher. So in a way, now it's kind of testing again this upper side of this range that the gold was trading in, and in a way this could be quite critical here for gold if it breaks and closes below the 1215, because then we could see this one traveling a little bit further. So if of course the 1215 continues to hold, that could be a nice good sign for the bulls, but still we would remain somewhat cautious, I would say, because for us to get comfortable with the upside, to be honest, we would need to see this one traveling all the way back above this upside support line, and then eventually closing above the 1235, and this is where we could then aim for slightly higher levels in the near term. But for now, all eyes are on this 1215. Let's see how that performs, and let's see if actually this arrow of mine is gonna prove, well, is gonna prove to be correct. Let's put it that way. Okay, jumping into a few pairs now quickly. GBPJPY is showing some strength a little bit, of course, even though the GBP/USD is declining, and but as you can see that the indices started recovering. So in a way, we're having our risk on moment right now, and our mode, let's put it that way, and you can see that the GBP/JPY is kind of, the yen is kind of weakening a little bit here, and GBP, even the weak currency like the British pound, is kind of gaining a bit of momentum here, and it's trying to push above this short-term downside resistance line. Let me just quickly jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, and let me just adjust these lines nicely here. So in a way, we got our break already from this, a break of this very short-term downside resistance line taken from the low, the high of the 22nd of October. As you can see, the pair kind of went down a little bit, tested it from above, tested this line from above, and then pushed back up again. So what we're going to keep an eye on here from the very short-term perspective, of course, guys. So keep your eyes on this area here, this potential area of resistance. As you can see, it kind of held here nicely, and that's approximately around the 144.35 zone, something like that. You can in a way adjust, let me just adjust this line very quickly, guys. So keep your eyes on this 144.35 area, because a nice good break here above this could potentially open the path towards slightly higher levels. The first one we're going to keep an eye on is this one right here at around 145 area, approximately there. So the nice good psychological 145. If that doesn't hold, this could potentially travel, continue traveling higher, continue moving to the upside, where we're going to then aim for the 145.68 zone, something like that. So yep, guys, for now, all eyes are on this. All eyes are on the 144.35. Let's see if actually, if we see the pair moving towards that level. On the downside, well, for us to consider lower levels, we would need to see this one dropping below the 143 area, and then eventually dropping below this little level right here, which was marked here by the lows of the 26th of October, and that was approximately around the 142.75, sorry, 142.80 zone, so approximately there. So in a way, basically, long story short here, we would probably take a more conservative approach here and wait until this kind of moves lower here and starts breaking the 143 zone, or even, like I said, like I just mentioned, the 142.80. But for now, like I said, the judging by the equity markets right now, it seems that the risk-on mode is back on. Maybe it's for just a little bit, but nevertheless, we can see that the yen is weakening for now. Jumping into USDCAD, now this one is really testing our patience here. Looking at the daily chart, as you can see, we're still above this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 27th of June. So in a way, and we're also still stuck here below this level here that I have highlighted, and that's, or should I say, I have marked the 1.3130. So it continues to prove itself, quite an important one. In a way, we can't see, we just can't get that break here, and I can't get it close above that level. So we keep getting breaks, but it's still closing below that area. That actually just kind of makes it even more important, the 130. So if we get a nice break, a close here above this level, then this could potentially open the path towards this next area of resistance at around 132.10. But if that doesn't hold, well, we do have another good one here at around 132.90. So keep your eyes on that one. On the downside, for us to start considering, let's say, lower levels, jumping into a 4-hour chart on this one. This is where we're going to keep an eye on. We're going to keep a close eye on this area right here, around the 130.60 zone, because a nice good break below that could potentially lead towards a little bit more declines, but still be very cautious. We do have the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, so keep your eyes on that one. But if for those who are very conservative here, you could in a way wait until this gets below the 130.12, and then you could start looking for some much lower levels. But for now, certainly until we're stuck here, until we're above this downside resistance line that I was talking about, we're still going to remain somewhat more to the bullish side. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and that's euro dollar. So the euro dollar is it's moving lower. Yes, it's moving lower. It's kind of still, we're still aiming for this 113 zone, but I mean it's not really, I mean, or should I say, should put it this way, the bulls are still fighting back and trying to push this one higher, and we're not seeing these like sharp moves here to the downside now, and we're still going to remain somewhat bearish here on this one, and we're going to aim for the 113 level. But let's say if this suddenly reverses back to the upside now, for us to get comfortable with higher levels at this point in time, so we could start looking at the 114.30 zone. Now this is the area that potentially could open the path towards higher levels. As you can see, this area here in the past acted as a good area of support here on the 9th of October, and also a good resistance on the 25th of October. So this area, a break above this area, break above this line, could open the path towards the next possible resistance zone at 1.1495 or even higher here. But again, for now, judging by the picture that we're seeing here on the euro dollar, it seems that it wants to continue pushing lower. It still has some room to go lower here. We do have this 113 level on our target. But like I said, let's see how this plays out. The only thing is here is that it's kind of testing right now this, or let's say it's not far from testing this area here, this support zone at around 113.35. As you can see, even though we had like undershoots here in the past, in August time, we still kind of this area here, the 113.35, continued to hold, and from which the pair reversed back to the upside. So in a way, this could be your barrier here to watch today, especially the 113.35. If we get a nice break below that, then it could potentially open the path towards the 113 zone, or even lower, of course. But for now, we're just gonna play it safe, play it very carefully, and see if it actually breaks the 113.35 area today. If it doesn't, well, we still have 2 days to go here until the end of the week, and then we'll see how it performs further. But for now, this is the scenario for the upside. Of course, for now the upside is slightly off the table, but it's closer, it's more, we're leaning more still to the downside, and let's see if it actually plays out or not, and we get our break here below the 113.35. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you found it useful. And if you want to join me later on in my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much, and bye-bye.